Good morning. Well, it's almost winter time, so I thought I'd show you my take on winter camping and how to keep warm in a tent. Won't suit everybody, but this is a system that I have used for a long time and it works for me. So, you know, you may get some hints, you may try some of these things. Won't work for everybody or in every condition, but this is just personally what I do. Now, a few of you that have followed the channel will have seen this tent before. It's just a cheap summer tent and I use it in the winter. No reason why you can't. As long as you've got good ventilation, because the last thing you want, especially in winter, is condensation. Not only is it, you know, wet and horrible inside, and if you bang the side you get a free shower, but if it's seriously cold, proper winter camping, that condensation can freeze on the inside, and that's just not pleasant at all. So airflow is an absolute must. People think, oh, to keep warm I need to, you know, button myself right up and not have a single draft. It's not always the best plan. So ordinary cheapo tent, first thing I've done is put the ground sheet, cheap plastic tarp, underneath. Some of the better tents actually come with a footprint. Same sort of, you know, idea. Keeping the bottom of the tent clean, but also, you know how the base of the tent always feels cold to the touch, and if that's on very cold or frozen ground, it's just not going to get any better, is it? This does add a layer between them. It's not really going to make it any warmer, but it's going to stop the base at least getting damp and cold. So that's the first thing I would do. I've left this bit out purely to kneel on because the ground's a bit yucky, but of course you would tuck it under the edges of your tent because you don't want rain falling on this and then running under. So once it's up, just tuck the edges under. I'll bring the camera in a bit closer for the other bits. Now, on the inside, what I've done, we'll start right at the bottom, on the tent floor, to try and stop that cold. I've got my poncho liner. Doesn't need to be a poncho liner, it can be an old blanket, anything you like really. It's just something to insulate the coldness of that plastic between you and it. It does make quite a difference. I mean, just putting my hand on there, that feels warm to the touch, which is quite weird because there's no reason for it to warm up, but it certainly feels a lot warmer than that under there. So that's my first line of defence. Think of it as like carpet for your tent. You know, at home, walking about in bare feet. If you're walking on a tiled floor or vinyl, how that feels compared with walking on carpet. Your carpet's not heated, but purely how it insulates, it feels better. Same theory. Let me just stick that out the way and that out the way. My foam mat. Now these are sold as 4 season. They're not, but yeah, they're sold as 4 season. Underneath, see I've got another cheap one. Now these, you can see these on eBay, these ones underneath, very, very cheaply. They're very thin, they're only about ½ centimetre thick, but they're the ones with the foil on one side. I've put the two together with the foil in the middle. So it's like a foil sandwich between 2 lots of foam. The idea being that the under one will insulate you from any cold coming through your carpet, and the silver will hopefully act as a barrier to stop that cold coming up any further. Consequently, any heat that you produce and the foam on the top warms up, the silver layer will stop it permeating down to the ground. So the silver is your barrier in the sandwich there. On top of that, you could just sleep on that if you wanted. In nice flat ground, you'd probably be okay. I'm normally in the woodland. It's normally a bit bumpy, a bit uneven. I need a little bit more. So air mat on top of the foam mat. And again, An ordinary air mat would be okay. The posh ones are insulated, as I'm sure you're aware. I don't like spending money on things like that because I'm tight. But an alternative is one of the self-inflating mats. They're self-inflated, of course, because they've got foam in them. Again, another layer of insulation. So you've got, can't really count the plastic because that's not insulating as such, but you've got your carpet, 2 layers of foam with the foil barrier in the middle, hopefully insulating and helping. Then you've got another layer of foam on top of that. Then your sleeping bag, you're going to be warm. On the sleeping bag front, I don't actually have a winter bag. Well, that's a small lie. I do. I got myself a British Arctic bag recently, but personally I don't like it. So 3 Season is the, warmest bag that I've got. So if it's going to be really cold, 3 Season inside a bivvy bag makes all the difference. If it's going to be silly cold, I could always bring my lightweight summer bag to stick over the 3 Season bag. That makes a huge difference. But then you are starting to talk, a fair bit of bulk. This, weighs nothing, it packs down to next to nothing, does add some heat. So all told, you've got your plastic under your tent, keeping it hopefully dry and clean. You've got your carpet layer. The poncho liner is of decent size, and this is only a small tent, so that's doubled. So you've got like 2 thicknesses of carpet. I've actually got 2 thicknesses of foam mat with foil in between. Self-inflating mat with yet more foam. Poncho liner, you idiot. Bivvy bag over the top of my 3 Season bag if needed. But to be honest, with this sort of setup, unless it's really cold, it's not going to be. And of course, it's a small tent. Smaller tent, the easier it is going to be to keep warm. If you've got a huge one, it's just a lot of dead air. So yeah, that's my take on it. That's how I do it.